Hey, what's up, good peoples? What's going on? Give me 1 second. 1 second. I'm sorry, y'all. This has been a crazy day. Crazy day. But guess what? We're gonna make it do what it do. What's going on, good peoples? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? Please, if you guys are on Facebook, I need for you guys to share this. If you guys are on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So, as you guys know, I was going to have a guest, Professor Johnson, and he had something, an unforeseen event. So I'm gonna have to freestyle it, y'all. When you're doing a live show, you have to be prepared to do certain things. So unfortunately, guys, we were going to talk about the HBCUs today, but we're gonna freestyle it. What's up, people in the comments? What's up? BT, what's up, Amash? What's going on, good peoples? If you're on Facebook, don't forget to share this live. So we're gonna freestyle it. First, I want to give everybody say happy Wednesday to everybody. I hope everybody had an amazing day today. And we're in the middle of the week, so because we're in the middle of the week, I'm gonna give us a hand clap. All right. Just something a little something. So I guess my freestyle is going to be so let me do an icebreaker. Let me do an icebreaker. So the icebreaker question that I had says, if you was elected the president of the United States, what celebrity or politician would you select as your vice president? Um, who would you select? I think let's see who I would select for my vice president, politician, or I think I would have Michelle Obama as my vice president. If I was running for president, I would most definitely want Michelle on my team, for sure. Jason, what's up, bro? What's going on with you, man? Thank you. So the question is, if you were selected as the president of the United States, what celebrity or politician would you select as your running mate, your vice president? Drop in the comments, guys. Let me know who you guys would choose as your vice president running mate. So if you guys just joined the live, I apologize for being late. I had a guest, and the guest had an unforeseen circumstance, and so we're gonna save today's show. Would have been today's show for next week, and I'm just gonna freestyle it, man. We're gonna get this thing rolling. So we're gonna talk about some hot topics, something in pop culture. As you guys know, YouTuber Kevin Samuels passed away. He was a very controversial YouTuber, to say the least. Um, some of his rhetoric I did not agree with. Um, some of his rhetoric I did agree with. Um, I do think he was disrespectful to women. I think all of those things. However, I think what I'm most appalled about is that how people pretty much relished in his death. A lot of people were like really ecstatic. I scroll across social media and everybody is talking about it. A lot of women just a lot of the black community, especially the women, they just don't have no sympathy for this man. So my question to you guys, and make sure you guys drop down in the comments. I'm also going to post a link so that you guys can join the stream with me. And if you guys want to, you do not have to show your face, guys. You can just come on. You don't have to show your face, but we can just get some perspective going on about this whole situation. So let me get the link shared. I'll get this link shared. But Amar said, good pick, Michelle Obama. Yeah, man. I think that's who I would most definitely have as my running mate. It was just sad, man. We heard all of these different things about what he did, and we saw a lot of the things that he did. But what's confusing and I guess shocking to me is the fact that most of his audience made up of women. So yeah, I was a little shocked to see that most of his fan base were women, considering that he said a lot of different things that I don't think I would have said. So let me drop this down here. And yeah, let's make this interactive live. I'm sorry, guys. Initially, we're supposed to talk about something else. So, of course, I have to freeball it. You know how we do it. A live show still got to go on. What's up, good peoples? If you just joined, if you're on Facebook, please don't forget to share this live. If you're new to YouTube, please be sure to like, share, and most definitely subscribe. In addition to that, you want to make sure that you hit the bell so that you guys are notified when I drop new content. So yeah, so right now we're just talking about this whole entire Kevin Samuels um, debacle, and just basically giving you guys my opinion on it. Um, I'm sad that he died. I don't wish death on nobody. You know, um, and I think a lot of people um, really had a disdain for this guy. But I'm also a firm believer too. Like, I mean, the way you lived your life, just because you die, don't mean people, So, I'm saying that to say we really need to be careful how we treat people. We really need to go through life really cherishing people, making sure that you're not holding any grudges against anybody, because no day is promised to any of us. We can be here today and we go on the next. Life is nothing. Life is simply but a vapor, and life is simply what we make it. What's going on, Art? So it's imperative that we go through life and we treat people the way that we want to be treated. And this Mr. Samuels was a son. He was a father, brother, etc. And to have him go out the way he went out was just like it was something. Karma is one thing about karma. Karma is a bitch, and karma do not wait on nobody. She show up and sometimes she show out. Hey, what's up, Michelle? What's going on? Um, Michelle said, "Hey, Kev, was he disrespectful to women or very opinionated? I know nothing about him. All right, so let me I think it was both. All right, let me invite Shade to the show. What's up, Mama?
What's
What's
up?
going
What's up?
on?
What's up?
What's going on with you?
What's going
Dang,
on
I
with
mean,
you?
this PG-13 when you got titties all over the place.
Well,
What,
I can't help it because they hear. I can lean up the camera a little
hey,
bit.
I wish I had me a little prayer cloth or something. Let me see if I can, a little do rag or something, cover up your little justices. So let's talk about this. So what's your perspective on Kevin Samuels? Michelle asked, was he disrespectful to women or was he just very opinionated?
So I didn't spend a lot of time watching him. When I did watch him, to me, and this is just my personal opinion, to me he was both. He was opinionated, which majority of the time, quite a few of us are opinionated. So it's nothing wrong with being opinionated. Um, his delivery, I didn't like it, and I felt like he wasn't uplifting us. He was
Mm-hmm.
almost kind of, he was, I don't know, he made black women seem like they were so bottom feeders and that we couldn't have expectations. And when we did have expectations, if he felt they were too high of expectations, he found a way to nitpick with you to make you feel like your expectations wasn't really realistic. And that was my personal opinion.
So let me ask you this, because now I did see a couple of his shows. Now, some of the things I disagree with. He used what's up, Rebirth? Rebirth said, big titties. Said she need the white. She does. She need the prayer cloth. She knows she need the prayer cloth.
Look,
She
my
knows she need
phone
the prayer
is
cloth.
my phone was acting, my computer was acting stupid, so I had to reset my computer, and it was a long story, so that's
Right,
why
right.
it looked like this.
It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, so just by the videos that I seen, I mean, he referred to big women as Shirley, calling them stuff like that, I think that was degrading. And
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think it was something about the whole R word. We got to kind of be careful saying that with YouTube.
What?
The R word, it rhymed with ape.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
So
okay,
YouTube is very
okay.
meticulous. Yeah. So I heard he told people not to believe their children. Kids lie. And I'm like, some of those things just did not sit well with me. But a lot of things he was saying, he did provide statistics. So do you think he had a bad experience with a black woman? Do you really think? I mean, what's your perspective on that?
I don't think he had a bad. I don't think he had a bad experience. You just have some people who have self hate against their own people. It
Mm,
don't necessarily have to be an event. He may look at black women as not being worthy of being on a pedestal. I caught one of his on shows, and he was talking about how black women call themselves boss, or they say, God, what was it? It was a boss, and it was something else he said. And he kept saying, do you see any other race calling themselves bosses? Do you see any other white women don't call themselves bosses? It's Mexican women don't call. And I'm like, so because they don't call themselves bosses, does that mean that we can't call ourselves bosses? Like, why do we have to be compared to another race? Hell, white men do a whole bunch of stuff black men may not do. Some, not all. But you can't group one race or group one thing and make it about everybody. I just felt like he did that all the time. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I do know Vivica Fox gave him an entire asshole. She went completely off. But so let me just ask you this kind of so moving from Kevin Samuels just for a quick minute. What's your opinion on people who was a shitty person in life that did people wrong and unfortunately they pass away? Do you think people should? Because I hear people say you shouldn't speak on the dead, but I mean, if you was a shitty person in life, I mean, you're gonna be shitty when you're dead. You know what I mean? So, is that speaking dead on it? Is that speaking ill on the dead, or are you just telling the truth?
I mean, and the truth is this gray area where your truth may not be my truth may not be your truth. That was another thing that a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people kept saying. He spoke the truth. He spoke the truth. Whose truth? You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily feel like it's fair to speak bad of him, but I also don't feel like people have to celebrate him because he did. Like, we are gonna die. You know what I'm saying? So, just to be like, well, he's dead, guys. Don't say anything about him. Like, this man was living and he was so derogatory and rude towards people for no reason. I didn't get that part. That he was just so mean and rude to people for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Especially women. And it's like, black women, we already have it hard. And he kept saying, black women, y'all ain't no different than, this. And I'm like, that's so not fair to say because
Mm-hmm.
black men, you guys have things so much harder than a lot of other races. So you may be able, you might want to brag about you just bought a house and a car and you did it at 35 because you may have went through something through life where
Mm-hmm.
you was proud. Whereas the average maybe white person may not have those same struggles, or it's expected that white people are rich, wealthy, and intelligent. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like he just wasn't realistic to me. But supposedly the girl he was with was a white lady, supposedly.
Well, no, she was not white. She was Spanish. She wasn't white.
Well, she wasn't black.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't.
Yes.
Let's see. Go to the comments. Yeah, Michelle, you got to check him out. You most definitely. So Michelle said, so was he like the young man that was killed by his
To
girlfriend?
me, yes. Yes.
Nah, I don't think.
To
I don't.
me, yes.
But Kevin, I don't know, Michelle. I don't know because that guy that got killed by his girlfriend, he just did not like black people as a whole. I mean, he didn't have no black friends. So I think he had self hate hatred. I think Kevin did a lot of things for shock value. Also, too, when you in a business like this, everything is clickbait. He knew what he said was gonna go viral. You know, it was gonna have him trending. And to me, I just what I don't understand is that how his fan base were predominantly women. If this man was so bad to women, why was his fan base over 70%, 75% of his fan base female?
I mean, you can look at that several ways. Sometimes you know how many people go on your page but ain't your friend? That don't mean because somebody likes your page is your friend. I mean, they could have decided to go on there so they could speak their case. I don't really know how his fan base went, but I do know a lot of women, maybe they liked it. I don't know. The women that I read posts by and read different things, majority of them, he did not like his delivery. I don't think his message was always bad. That's the thing. Like, I don't
Okay,
think
good.
what his message was bad. I think his delivery was horrible. It's like getting delivery from Amazon and getting delivery from like this off-brand place. It's not the package you don't want. It's the way it's delivered that you can't receive it. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Mhm.
my thing.
What's up, Art? What's going on with you,
Hey,
man?
Art.
What's going on?
Long time no
Hey,
see.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
So, what can you add about this Kevin Samuels guy?
Um, I really, like I said, I really haven't looked at him. I don't know too much about him, but I mean, because I'm not into social media like that. I don't look to social media for drama and all that other crap. So a lot of podcasts and stuff I don't view or if it's something that I don't really agree with, I tend not to look at it.
Hmm.
So I really don't want to give an opinion on that. Um, I just want to say stay biased on it. I mean, I don't want to, the man has passed away. I don't have any feelings about it, but if you like the comment you said, well, he told parents not to believe their children if their children said the R word, and that can be true in some cases, depending on the child's character.
Hmm.
Parents know their child's character, and usually, if their child is gonna, um, if they're gonna lie about something, the parent can usually see through
My,
it.
my said, well, hello, Shay. Everybody coming for the. It's supposed to. What is it? Titty Thursday. She got a titty Wednesday.
First of all, I think it's this camera. They not that big.
Allegedly, y'all. I say allegedly. So, I really, really, really believe. I think his death was a lesson learned. And when I say lesson learned, meaning that you just gotta be careful how you navigate through life, and you have to be careful um, what you say about people. You know what I
What?
mean?
How did he die?
I mean, he died on top of a woman. Wasn't that
Oh,
on Color Purple?
Supposedly
yeah.
he fell. They
He
said he fell and hit his head.
no. So we
Oh,
really don't know what happened, but I speculate that they probably was in a because the lady didn't they went to a party or a bar, they met the night before, they came back. I'm assuming that maybe they was gonna have sex, and he had a heart attack. You know, I everybody was saying that on his show he drunk a lot of Red Bulls, and what people don't know, if I don't know if he did, but if he did take something to something
enhancement.
an enhancement that can blow your heart out too. So I'm not sure what happened, but the lady was a nurse, and from the video, she's a lot of people were saying she killed him. To me, it seemed like that he really, really she was trying to help him.
Okay.
So That's what I get from the video. When you heard the video, did your perspective change, Shay?
I actually didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch the video because I didn't care one way or the other. But I just I heard that he supposedly fell out of the bed and hit his head, and that's what happened. But I didn't go into detail to look and see how he actually passed away because yeah, I didn't really care.
Yeah, yeah. So when I heard the video, because I they kept saying it was some woman there and stuff like that, and so once that video come out and TMZ get a hold to it, the lady was like, the lady was trying to help him, but I was more flabbergasted about the 911 caller. Like, I think they have a difficult job, but I thought that when you call in and say if I don't know my address or know the location, I thought they can automatically ping where the phone is. But they, when you asked an addresses and during the time where you see somebody, dying, your mind is not on like what's the damn zip code, what's the apartment number. You forget all that. You
Right.
got your sound is bad, Art.
Yeah, it's like
It's really really hard. It's like staticking.
Okay. That's probably me moving around.
yeah, you got muted. And we're going
Okay.
to pick up
Yep.
on.
So yeah. So yeah, I just didn't. I don't understand that. Like, I would have been pissed because I've been in situations where I had to call 911, and you don't. Your mind is just get here now. They ask you, well, just get the fucking ambulance here, and like that's my. I don't understand that. So yeah,
I didn't have a different, like I said, a lot of people had their own perspective. I just didn't like the black men that always be like, oh, he spoke facts, he spoke truth. And it's like, what he talked about what did he call a high class, a high level, what did he call him, a high level man or a high class man or something like that. But you stayed in an apartment that was 900 square feet. But you talked about people had to have houses and they had to have a certain type of house and they had to have, and it's like you didn't even have what you said they needed to have. I'm all confused.
what up, Lamar? What's going on, bro? Yeah, that's what I thought. When you call, everything should appear. So you asking me what apartment number I'm in, what's the address. I mean, sometimes when you in a dire situation, that goes out the window. You know what I mean? And so I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure like why that actually took place like that. Um, but yeah, so my thing is also I kind of want to talk on just bridging like friendships and bridging relationships, period. Because no day is promised to us. You sit here and you sit here and you go through these things with people and you had these grudges and then somebody passed away and it's like, damn. They were saying that a lot of people a lot of people like his kids, his daughter was about to sue him for child support, or something like that. And hold on, let me welcome Becca Timbe to show. Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up,
Timmy,
y'all?
what's
Yeah.
up?
I had to get nice for y'all. You know.
So let me ask you this, man. What's your
What's up?
perspective on the whole Kevin Samuel thing?
Okay, so I think that while I agree with tough love to a certain extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that sometimes people can only give tough, but they forget about the love part. And and it's not to say that in every single situation that you're supposed to get everything like a bullet, but everything doesn't have to feel like a feather. When they're training soldiers and training warriors in ancient ways of battle, you well you'll get the target next time. No, I mean they training them to kill to protect the people. And that's the thing. I think that um while this the death of Kevin Samuels does definitely make you
Come
question
back, Art.
the ways in which we bring up certain topics to different people. I mean, he kind of knew the vehicle that he was driving. You know, he didn't just start just out the blue, you know, saying things that could be seen as misogynistic or harsh or what have you. He had already built that platform. It was just that social media blew him up even more
Mm-hmm.
because he was already a counselor and doing all these other things or what have you.
So in the beginning, before you go on, in the beginning, he started talking about the men. Then they ate him up. So then he flipped it and started attacking the women. And anytime a woman decided she wanted to say she wanted a man that, let's say, made six figures, which I be so over the whole money thing. That shit's irritating. That people
So,
always what?
so listen, it's I don't think people. I don't think money you want that financial stability. Not only do you want to be emotionally stable, you want the person to be spiritually stable, you want the person to be mentally stable, but financially you want somebody financially stable. So a woman saying that she wants somebody six figures, I don't see an issue with it. However, if you not there, how can you ask? What I don't understand about people, how are you asking about things that you do not have or you have not accrued? How can you say you want somebody with a 10 bedroom home and you have a studio? Like
And you in a cardboard box.
yeah, I don't understand the fact how I understand people have standards and it's okay to have those. But when you requiring something from somebody that you don't have, that's when I think it's an issue.
And I get that. That's
Hmm.
But even if, let's say, I do get on here and I say I want a guy or a girl who has six figures, right? It's a way you can articulate that to me
Hmm.
without being derogatory by saying, "Oh, well, how much do you make?" Well, you make $20,000, so you must work at Target. How you gonna ask? It's a way to educate women and men, vice versa, when it comes to the expectations, and you can easily say, "Well, if you're not able to provide that, what makes you think that you deserve something like that?" And let's have real dialogue, but I don't have to be derogatory or demeaning in order to get my point across. And that was my thing with him.
Right.
Again, wasn't the message that he was delivering, it was how he delivered the message. And he beat us up. And it's like we get enough beating up from different races, male and females, for you to be the person to do that. I don't like it. That's all.
Yeah. But I think that what it still comes down to is that, you know, his conversation is really a communal conversation. Because even our personal spaces among our friends and family members and what have you, we're having some of these tough conversations. It's just that nobody's filming us and nobody's has a microphone to us. So while I may disagree with some of his viewpoints, I think that we still need to get used to having tough conversations, because sometimes you might not be able to give somebody honey. You might have to give them vinegar and say, listen, the way
Mm-mm,
the way that you may be handling
mm-mm,
the situation
uh-uh.
is a bit out of order, and this is me coming from a place of love. I think you should go with this. And I'm not saying that to validate anything that he's saying, but I'm saying that we we need to also be willing to hear that there's wisdom in the things that we don't prefer to hear in the way
Hmm.
that they're being brought to us.
So I have a book called Crucial Conversations that I instruct at my job, and it talks about um, normalizing uncomfortable conversations. So I'm very aware of what it means to be in a uncomfortable conversation. If my
Hmm.
best friend asks me to borrow money and I know they're not good with money, that's an uncomfortable conversation. So I'm not going to lie and say I don't have the money to avoid that uncomfortable conversation. I'm going to say I have the money. However, you're not very good with money. And although this conversation is very uncomfortable, I have to have this conversation with you.
Exactly.
I
Yes.
can
Yes.
deliver that message where, yeah, they may not be happy with the outcome, but I deliver it in a way that is not derogatory or demeaning. So I'm cool with the uncomfortable conversation. He can have those all day, but you
Mhm.
don't have to demean me. And that's where we get, and I say we African Americans, we get it lost when we say, well, I was just being real. It's a way you can be real and you don't have to be mean.
Of course,
I
and I
think.
and I agree. I
I think.
agree. I think that we also have gotten to a place where um, some of the different extremes have just become a little bit too normalized. Like it's either someone overly coddling or overly being mean to you. There's not a level of tact and care put into a lot of our words. So I mean I just had to have an uncomfortable conversation with my dad earlier that I tried to be respectful. I didn't use any cuss words. I didn't get loud, but I had to just say you are out of order.
Yeah.
And in addressing that, I got a chance to really just unpack some of the places that I felt that that I had over honored where our relationship should be as father and son that became one sided. And because I kept doing that as the people pleaser that we all have in us, then he started to expect that. And I was like, "Whoop, you're cut off on this."
Have you watched any of his videos?
I've watched a couple of them, and I really found a lot of them to be disgusting.
Okay. So that was my only thing. Like I said, at the end of the day, this guy wanted to keep going back and forth with me on another live and telling me that,
Mhm.
women who broke, that's why y'all be mad. And I don't have to prove anything to anybody on Facebook or Twitter or nothing.
Mhm.
But I was like, you truly have the wrong girl because I'm so far from broke. I mean, I tell you, far from it. It's like I don't have to tell you. I'm not offended, and I think that's another thing that's so annoying because I don't like something doesn't mean that what they say a dead dog holler or something like what is it?
Something like
Dog
that.
holler.
What is it?
A
A
hit
hit
dog will
dog will
A
holler.
hit dog holler, and I'm
holler.
like, what does that mean? Like, why? Because I don't agree with something mean that it resonates with me. Why can't I just say I don't like it? But it turns into this, oh well, you must be broke and you must ain't graduated from high or you did and it's like, why do I gotta be broke because I don't agree with you?
But the flip side too is that the person, even people who try to shine that type of negative light towards you, are they also being accountable in that conversation for themselves?
Most of the time, no.
Because
No,
that's
they're
the
not.
thing. If you point one finger, it's four more pointing back at you. So what are the different places that you're addressing in yourself to make sure that you're not just being harsh for someone just because it's sport.
But also too, we have to realize and understand that, everybody have their own opinion.
Exactly.
Everybody have their own opinion, and you don't have to agree with it. It's you just have to respect it. It's like we all have different views probably on everything,
Right.
right? But it doesn't mean that your view is wrong because I think it's different than mine.
Exactly.
It's just that people, I think it's people either for it or against it. It's never in the middle. Either and that's the problem that I have with people. People so quick to disagree with what you believe in, but they don't try to understand it. They're just like, oh, I'm just over it. Let me go to the comments real quick. Amar said, "Money is nothing. Happiness is everything. I'd rather be broke and happy." Okay. He said he also stated, "Listen to me. I work 3 jobs and go to school and alone. However, when I finish school, I will be looking for love. Do she have to have the same things as me? Hell no. But if she brings something to the table, that's extra. All right. So let me ask you this, Amaj. Um, I need for you to elaborate on that because I understand you saying she don't have to have the same things as you, but do you are you okay with taking care of somebody, or are you able to teach somebody if they just if they don't have good credit? Are you able to sit down and work with them? JC said, I agree with Shay. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Amaj came back and said that does it really matter who makes the money? No, because if we together, this is our money. Now that I have to 100% agree with you. He said we all have our own opinions. I have
Yeah,
to agree with you. When you and I think a lot of people just get this misconstrued. When you in a relationship, you're supposed to be doing things together, right? If I make 80,000 and you make 20,000, that's 100,000. Do I honestly expect for you to split everything down the middle? No, because I make more money. But what you can do, you're gonna contribute to something, whatever that is. You got to bring something to the table. I think people expectations are a little unrealistic.
Yes.
I think
I agree.
people expectations are unrealistic, and I think you know people are got this thing where they hear people say, "Oh, you got to marry this, and you need to marry that, and you need to." Well, why do you think you're single? Have you ever thought that your expectations are a little too high?
Way too high.
Um,
Well, my issue was that they were too low, and I went for it.
Shit, you have to cover up. It look when I say it look like you don't have on no shirt at all. You need to take that and wrap that up.
Boy,
Okay, Lee, I'm serious. It looked like you
boy,
ain't had
they
nothing
grabbed my
on.
jacket from the shift room.
And I say Facebook and YouTube gonna be on my ass today for nudity. Yeah, but yeah, so I think it's but communication is you have to have effective communication, um, and you have to be able to listen to other parties even though you don't agree with it. You got to respect it.
But who was that said they don't have to say have the same thing as I or whatever.
Amaj.
Imagine.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Like, I don't necessarily care what my partner makes. I don't really care. I don't want you to come to the table with absolutely nothing, but
Because
I'm
I've done
like, if
that.
I can take care of my bills, I'm good. Because if you can't take care of yours, then we go figure something out. Like, we go, get you some help. And if you're not willing to get that help, then I'm straight on you. But I don't want to automatically cross you out because you don't have what I have. And I think that was the basis of Cameo. You got me calling him Cameo. Um, uh,
Kevin Samuel.
like, that was his baseline. Like, he always ended up talking about what someone had, or what you have, what you got, what you and I don't know. I think some of the women were mentally crazy calling him, but some of them I think just wanted to have that argumentative spirit, and I wasn't with that either.
But I think just from my vantage point, I um I went through the cycles of we'll live on love and I'll take care of everything and whatever. And having to raise two kids in the midst of that, I would never do it again. I mean, we gotta both be working daily so that there's a contribution that's regularly coming in that's not just my own, or we can't do it. Not together. I
What,
think you need to. In,
bro?
in my opinion, in those places that I've been, if I would go back to my previous self, I would tell myself to pause, wait till this person is ready, revisit. Do not start right now because of the different issues that took place, and the lack of stability that it created for me. On top of trying to take care of my kids and this extra party, I will never do it again.
Okay. Let's see. Ahmad said, "I'm willing to help, but don't get me wrong. If you're not trying to, if you're not trying to
But
help
gosh,
yourself, I can't help you. I went from a 460 credit score to a 750, and I built that on my own. That's what's up, man.
Well,
And
exactly.
I think,
we going shopping. Okay. You
right,
got a 7.6. You press. Let's go.
yeah, he got that American Express waiting on us.
Right.
Um, I mean, I guess it just depends on the person. I mean, at this place in time, do y'all have the patience? If the person don't have it, do y'all have the patience to help a person build it up? Do you have that patience to do that?
I don't, KJ. I'm just saying. You know, my terminology, I can't do another build a bear relationship. I'm sorry. I mean, you gotta come assembled.
I'm gonna say for me because I don't know what bridge. I know what bridge I've crossed. I don't know what bridge I got to go back across. And we all plan on having a healthy life financially as well as
Mm-hmm.
physically and spiritually.
Mhm.
And sometimes things happen. You know how many people got laid off during Corona and lost their jobs, lost their house. We have a friend that went through all of that. And this person had themselves together, like top notch together. But they lost all of that. Does that mean that he deserves not to be given a chance because you met somebody during a time where they lost something? That doesn't disqualify them. So you have to remember the words that you say because you could very well be that place that one day and then like someone and someone dismiss you based off of your now. That doesn't mean that because they ain't got enough, you gotta build them. To me, now I'm not trying to change how you feel, but to me, it doesn't mean that you have to build them. Sometimes they're already built, but they just went through a little construction rework. They gotta get some other stuff taken care of, but that doesn't discount them. To me,
And I feel you on that. I think that there's space where, if someone's going through a certain circumstance and they just lost everything during COVID, and things they're going through different changes, we could be friends, but we can't date.
okay.
Because I think that all of your energy really at that time shouldn't necessarily be on relationship. It should be on,
The
let me try to
rebuilding.
try to get my home front together and whatever, so that I can feel stable and I can feel secure for myself. And then when I get to a place where the coast is clear and I'm at a place where I feel like I'm a lot more stable, that's dating space.
I
You
can
know,
I can
but I
respect that.
but I think that if we're in a relationship and something happens, that's different because we already have a foundation, and we probably would have had those formative conversations that are necessary for us to maintain things if one of us were to go through some go through some type of financial strain. That type of preparation you build, when you're in a stable relationship. And I know that things happen, but that's the thing. If you only have your detriment to hang on to, at some point it's going to erode and break you apart.
This is why. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is why communication is essential when you first meeting somebody. It's important that you guys talk through things so that a person is not, I'll say, blindsided later on down the line. So say for instance, if you can't put nothing in your name, right? I think you should be able to let this person know, because what if you guys get into a situation, things going great, y'all decide to move in with one another, and they might can't put none of your name. You're gonna be like, that's gonna make you feel some type of way.
Right.
You know, I just think that people, should just come to the table being honest, no facades, and just have that communication. And that's where that being able to respect people's opinion come to play. Yeah, you're not going to agree with everything I say. I may not say everything the right way, but I think it's important that you let that person know, hey, you know, I, I didn't like how you said that to me, and stuff like that. It all boils down to having effective communication. Let's see what Ahmad's saying, because Ahmad's been preaching tonight.
Listen, I was trying to read over.
I
So
love
okay,
it.
so Ahmad said, now look, there's a difference. You don't let someone live off of you. When I was living in Houston, I had a coworker that needed a place to stay. I let the coworker stay with me until they was able to get on their feet. However, I seen that they were not trying to establish anything. I didn't charge them for rent or anything. I was just trying to help. I even let them get a phone on my line, and they didn't even want to pay me for that part of the bill. At that point, I had to put them out. Yeah, well, for sure. And hats off to you, man, for even wanting to help somebody like that. I think there's a fine line of helping and then people looking for a cash cow too. I think people sometimes look at oftentimes the outer what you have and they base that they want to be with you off. Oh, he has a nice home and a nice car.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't care shit. You can treat me like dirt, but I just like what I see and stuff like that. But you gotta kind of be you gotta use your own discernment on that, and because people come in, they'll come and appear like they want you, and it can be something different. So
And like I had a similar situation as a Maj, but I was the coworker who needed somewhere to live, and my homie was like, "Well, you staying over there in this hotel, paying week to week and whatever. You could just come stay with me." And I was like, "Really? You sure?" He was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll just decide on whatever." What I didn't know was that he really wasn't paying rent.
oh shit.
This and
Wow.
the, and the Joker just walked off the job and stuff, and just stopped coming in. And I was like, "So how in the hell is stuff getting done? I'm not understanding." So then there was a plan to move to a larger place because it was a 1 bedroom, and I'm on an air mattress in the living room or whatever. So then okay, get a 2 bedroom, whatever, and that way, since we're both fathers, we could be able to have respectively our kids visit a safe space and whatever, that I'm not sleeping in the middle of the floor.
Mhm.
So in the middle of moving, I'm seeing eviction notices, and I'm like, bro, what's going on here?
Oh
And
shit.
next thing I know, he moved to Florida with the rent money.
Oh shit.
Gone.
Hmm.
Wow.
Gone.
Damn.
So this wasn't a guy that you were dating. This was just a friend.
No.
Okay. Okay.
No. No, 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 no.
I think it's different when you're talking about a friend and then you're talking about somebody who you're actually dating. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't necessarily think, I like what Amaj said, but I don't necessarily think that, in the beginning, most people don't just come out of the blue and start talking about, what they make. I mean, and if you are dating someone and you find out that they're not in a great place, I just don't like to discount people based off money. That's
Yeah,
all.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Amar said, let me explain this. I helped my brother out getting a car. I co-signed for him. Then he was like, I don't want this car. I'm not paying for it. I said, okay. I took the car and traded it in and put the other car in his name. Never will I co-sign for someone else. Now, if I have money, I might let you borrow the money, but what I'm not gonna do is let somebody fuck my credit up. And I totally, I mean, but you know what? The
I agree.
thing is, it's it's listening uh to those lessons that's been taught. Like, don't do the same thing repetitiously. Yeah,
Exactly.
we all have made some crazy mistakes. You know what I mean? But you learn from it and then don't do it again. I think everybody I mean, not everybody, but it's common in the black community that you before you walk, you have a DTE bill in your name. Because I'm sure people have done that. You might can't even talk and walk, but that baby got a DTE, a Comcast, a car in their name, insurance in their name, and they only 2 months,
Right.
2 weeks old.
Not 6 months.
Horrible. It's horrible. And there are people out here who have utility stuff in their name in their children's names because they done mess up their own stuff.
Right. And then when the kid get of age, they can't get in college because they got $1 million DTE bill. They got 10 evictions on their name. And they like, well, I'm just being of age while I get on my own. I can't even get no car. Uber won't even pick me up. I got so many goddamn
Right.
repos on my account. But
Because my mom got Ubers in my name and I'm blocked
yeah, but it's
because she used
yeah.
my social.
Yeah, you just got to be careful. Word of the day is be careful on giving people money, especially people that you know don't pay you back. Now, just if they ask for 100, well, you know they ain't got no money to pay you back. Don't give them 100. Give them 20, something more, whatever that you don't mind losing.
Or
You
you
know,
pay what it is they want. I have people where
Right.
I'm not going to give you money, but if you say you need gas, I'll meet you at the gas station. I'll put gas in your car. You want groceries? No problem. I'll meet you at the grocery store. We'll buy your groceries.
Matter of
You
fact,
can
even
pay your cell
text
phone
me your
bill.
list. I'll go get the stuff.
You can do that, but I'm not just going to give you money if you're bad at money. I'm not doing it.
okay.
I got a promotion today. Woo-hoo.
Oh, congratulations!
I know, right?
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
I'm so now. I was an operational superintendent, and you know, if you haven't been in manufacturing, you won't know what that is. But it's pretty much under a manager, an area manager. So now I'm officially an area manager over injection.
So it's safe to say that Amaj and Shay is taking us out to go shopping and dinner because they over here balling.
Right.
Amaj paying off cars. So Amaj said, when I moved back to New Orleans, I was living with my sister. Rent was $1,200 and I was paying $600 of it. For 6 months, this B was taking my rent money and giving it to her old man, paying his. Oh, hell no. I never knew it until December, and an eviction notice was on the door. I was going to kill that B. I hated her, but now I don't live with her. He's saying that we are on better terms now. Wow, man, that's yeah, that's you know what, family can be worse than friends. You know, family can do you in more than anybody else, and that's why you have to be very careful and just selective with people. Don't matter who they are, family, cousin, brother. You know, you have to really be careful with that because family will do you in, most definitely.
But I think you really have to the same way that you have to be a good student of your friendship relationships. You have to be a good student of who your family members are, in your dealings with them. Like for instance, my older brother just came from taking me to the dollar store to get my last minute stuff for the graduation trip and whatever, right? So, while he's not always the most congenial and nicest person or whatever, he'll show up, you know. And I know that if I loan him money, there's a 50-50 possibility that he may not pay me back on time, but I know that he will pay me back. So I'm not really as pressed on it. Now, if we going further and further beyond the deadline, it's like, hold on, whoa, what you doing? And I don't have to do that often. But I think what it is that you get used to lending your energy to the more dependable people in your life the older you get. And the less dependable people, you start to back away. And it's like, I can't really depend on you to do the things that I need. So our one-sided relationship, I'm going to have to decide if I can be in it and invest the type of energy that I've had before. Because if I can't, then that's my lesson. And we just gonna have to be cordial, but not really involved.
Yeah. Michelle said most conversations we as a people have are triggers. That's true. Um, that's true. That goes with that whole communicating effectively, and you have to be very, very careful too. Like if you know you upset, why have a conversation with somebody? Because you already know that Think most of the time when you arguing and you upset, you arguing a hurt. You cutting below the belt. So why not just walk away? Why don't you just go give yourself 30 minutes or let them, because you can be trying to walk away and they still want to talk. Why not go ahead and give me some space?
In one of the classes that I teach, we talk about again the crucial conversations, and most of us don't listen to hear; we listen to respond. That's a big thing, and you have to actually be conscious of that, when you begin to have those uncomfortable conversations, and you have to catch your mind, because your mind will only hear snippets of what it wants to respond to. It
Right.
won't hear what the person is saying. I think the saying goes, be quick to listen
It's
and wait to respond, or
slow to
something like.
respond, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just like, just have that ear to listen. And when you are in that conversation, whether it's with a partner or whoever, and you feel yourself getting agitated, you do have to step away. And I know it's hard. People say all the time in my class it's unrealistic. Those are unrealistic expectations. But it's really not. And even in my own personal relationship now, I've mastered being able to step away from a conversation. Hey, you know what? I'm getting upset. I don't want to, even with KJ, when we talk, if I find myself getting flustered, I just be like, okay, it's cool. We'll talk
Mhm.
about this some other time. Because it's important to know your audience, and it's important to be
Yeah.
able to get that point across and not miss it, or not miss what someone's trying to tell you because it's uncomfortable or you don't really want to hear it.
Yeah. I think that I think that there's another part of it that anger in and of itself is not necessarily negative. I think the ways that we use and manipulate anger is what makes it unhealthy. So in the conversation I had earlier, um, I acknowledge exactly how I felt. I am upset. I am disappointed, and here's why. And I addressed all of my points, just almost like a presentation. And I didn't try to raise my voice, but I also noted that um, my father's reaction was to just have a response, and it was like, "Hold on, I gave you 5 days of space, so I have to make sure that I'm also honoring myself in what it is that I'm having to say to you,
Mhm.
because I really want you to hear me in a way that is respectful to you, to let you know that you've dishonored our relationship."
For sure.
Yeah.
And I mean that, I was allowed to go ahead and finish and get my point across. But in the end, we are all responsible for our places in the relationships that we have, especially in our families, in business, and everywhere that we are.
All right, so let's go to the comments. Ahmad said, "Listen, I have a brother that I had to pay mortgage not once but twice, $1,500, and light bill and water. I was there during their time of need. When the car got repo, I let them use my other car. Now that they are making six figures from YouTube and Facebook, his wife always talking about our family. She act as if she don't know her old friends. She thinks that she's a celebrity. The money that has took over their heads. I always say, humble thyself, because the same way God has it to you, you can take it. That's most definitely. He said, but I don't come to try to start shit. No, but don't come try to shit on the person who helped you. Yeah, they always say, don't never bite the hand
Never
that
bite
feeds
the
you,
hand that feeds you.
or don't what they say, don't burn the bridge or something.
Don't
Mm-hmm.
bite in the hand that feeds you, because
Some about the bridge too, because like I always tell people, when you leaving jobs, it can be the worst job. Don't go out
don't ever
just
burn
being,
your bridges, because you may
yeah.
need to cross back
You may
across.
have to cross back, or you might get another job, and that may be the same person you disrespect, may be over that job, or have connections to that job. So I
Yep.
always tell people, you gotta never bite the hand that feeds you. And like he said, God has his way of humbling people. I'm telling you, people be on high horses. Hell, he had to humble me a couple times. And
Listen,
just by the humble, I said, listen, I already know what you can do, Jesus. I am sorry. I Jesus, please, I learned my lesson, Father. Don't even have to do nothing, but yeah, you never uh burn your bridges and what they say, bite the hand. Is it bite the hand and feed you?
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But like
So
the ancestors called those experiences Sankofa, and with Sankofa is the symbol of it is this gigantic vulture looking backwards and holding this egg. This egg is like right in his beak, and
mhm.
basically in these experiences, you keep going through that same thing over and over again and getting dropped even further back behind that same lesson until you start abiding by what the lesson is teaching you. And I think that even in my own relationship with my kids, I had to get knocked back a couple times before I realized there is something that I keep repeating and finding detriment in that I'm not listening to. Maybe I need to stop, listen, and look for whatever this direction is trying to teach me. These were harder lessons each time because even in the movie Sankofa, the person who's the subject of the lesson is physically dropped from modern times into enslavement to
Mhm.
get all of her lesson and whatever and all the brutality and whatever that occurred with her. And when she finally got it, she was put back in modern times, changed. And I think that the biggest apology that you can make is change behavior. And at some point, if you don't change your behavior, you'll always keep having the misery of that lesson until it finally just claws its way at you and you have nothing left.
Yeah. Effective communication. So guys, it's actually the show is actually about to end. We got to wrap it up. It's an hour. We got to close out with something. Shay, what you want to say to close us out? What's that word? All right, I think Shay is doing a mannequin challenge on this. I think she having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I said, you know what? I'm on my phone tonight. I have no idea what's going on over here.
Let's go ahead and close this out. We're gonna, you know how we do. We all kind of say something last few words to the people. What can you lead them with?
Myself? Are
Yes,
you speaking to me?
yes.
Oh, you know what? Life is short, definitely. It doesn't matter how long you're here; it's what you do with the time given. That's really what it's about. I truly pray for Kevin and his family, Samuel's, who whatever he had, whether it was mom, dad, brothers, sisters, whatever. I pray for peace because they knew him in a different light than us.
True,
So
true.
I truly pray for that. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's not about the time, how long you was here. It's about what you do with the time given and the lives you touch.
Wow. Becca Timbe, what you got? Last words.
Ah, I think that you have to give yourself permission to walk away. No matter how difficult it is, no matter who it is, whether it be a friend, relative, sometimes you may have to walk away from a parent for a while until you can reach a place where there's peace in you to have that relationship present.
Right. I'm gonna say protect your peace as best way um as possible. And know that family doesn't constitute blood. You can make your family with friends. And I think, we got this ideology around, because we're blood, we have to be bothered. No, you don't. And there's no book that says
So,
that. If your family is treating you like shit and just don't support you, guess what? We have the ability to build another family. Blood does not constitute family. So, just cherish those relationships that you do have and protect your peace. And with that being said, I'm gonna say that I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I know this was we had planned a different show. We had a guest, and due to an unforeseen situation, he couldn't be here. So what we'll do with that show we had planned for this week, we're gonna take it over till next week. But again, Shay, Becca Timber, I appreciate you guys for jumping on. As
Yes, sir.
always, we freestyle it. I appreciate everybody in the comments. You guys
Freestyle
spit your facts,
Wednesday.
and as always, I love you guys, and remember to choose positivity over negativity. If you're on Facebook, please share this live. YouTube, don't forget to like, share, most importantly, subscribe, hit that bell so that you guys are notified when I drop new content. And
Want
on
me to
that,
sing the outro?
Out of here.
Who do we think we are?
I'm out, y'all.
All right.